In the summer of 2006, a frothy little comedy about the fashion world did something nobody expected. It became a phenomenon. It revived Meryl Streep's box office star power, turned Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt into household names, and sparked a whole new wave of mainstream obsession with high fashion.
Are you wearing the
Chanel boots? Yeah, I am.
20 years later, we are still quoting it.
Where's Armani? He's on the phone. Too slow. You're not going to Paris. I'm so much better than you.
Still arguing about who the real villain was, and as of this year, lining up for a sequel that pulled the entire original cast back into Miranda Priestley's orbit.
I hope that's not what you're wearing to the dinner. That's all.
So what is it about this film? How did a movie about a naive assistant and her tyrant boss dig itself this deep into the culture? What did Streep do to make Miranda Priestley an icon? And why, 2 decades on, does it still work? Let's break down how The Devil Wears Prada is built.
This is the first movie I've ever had, ever, in the 185 years I've been acting, that men have come up to me and said, I know how you feel.
Prada is that rare case where the film is widely considered better than the book it came from. David Frankel's movie is based on the novel by Lauren Weisberger, which itself grew out of something real. Weisberger had worked as an assistant to Anna Wintour, editor of American Vogue, and the single most powerful figure in fashion publishing. But where the novel made Miranda pure villain and made Andy someone who openly hated her boss and her job, the film shifts the emphasis. It softens the tone. Instead of acid satire, Frankel aimed for something closer to a tribute to working women and to the sacrifices success demands of them. He deliberately avoided the path of Robert Altman's classic ensemble pieces, which exposed the emptiness and rot of the fashion crowd. His real touchstone was a lesser-known film, Unzipped, about designer Isaac Mizrahi, a movie that's both a witty send-up of runway life and an honest statement about how hard it is to create under relentless pressure and merciless criticism.
Because one, I think, happens, and this is totally off camera, what I think sound on this one should be turned off.
Right,
That's
okay,
not
so
right.
turn it off.
In this film, clothing isn't decoration. It's the language the story speaks in. That was the real work of costume designer Patricia Field. Through what each character wears, she shows us their inner world and marks exactly where they stand in the fashion world hierarchy. The naive newcomer, the cynical veteran, the ambitious climber, you can read them all before they open their mouths. Miranda Priestley is quiet luxury, cut with the occasional very loud label. And note that, despite the title, Prada itself rarely appears on her. It's archival Versace and Valentino doing the talking. The put-upon assistant Emily wears the great rebel of British fashion, Vivienne Westwood. And Andy walks through an entire visual arc, from a girl in a sky blue sweater into a flawless office siren. The clothes aren't illustrating the story. They are the story. When designers caught wind of the project, the whisper went around that anyone who helped could forget about Vogue's favor. Only Valentino wasn't afraid. His cameo quietly confirms that these characters really do move at the summit of the real industry. Patricia Field still assembled a genuine fashion reality on screen, on a wardrobe budget north of $1 million. And that's the paradox at the heart of the film's power. The industry feared being mocked, but the film did something more dangerous than mockery. It took fashion seriously enough to make it a storytelling language, earning Oscar and BAFTA nominations for costume in the process. After the premiere, Prada itself took its seat in the pantheon of fashion symbols. As the fashion crowd likes to say, where Miuccia Prada goes, the rest follow. Frankel's vision was carried by screenwriter Aline Brosh McKenna, who shared his principle. Show, don't tell. So character and situation get revealed through cinematic language, not dialogue. Take the opening. In a single minute of parallel editing, Andy getting ready, set against the runway girls getting ready, the film establishes the gulf between them and instantly plants her goal, to become a journalist. Or the moment Miranda first arrives at the office. We understand the exact scope of her power purely through everyone's reaction to her.
You play a king has nothing to do with you. You're just you. It's how everybody else in the room acts when you enter it.
Not having to spell the subtext out loud, That's the gift of Meryl Streep. You can usually tell exactly what Miranda's thinking, even without a single line. Here, here, or here. The iconic image of Miranda Priestley is the most memorable thing in the film, and that's largely down to Streep. She borrowed the quiet-speaking voice from Clint Eastwood.
I didn't have to worry because I didn't have a thing to do till the very end of the show.
By all means, move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me.
The habit of delivering a cutting remark with a completely impassive face she took from director Mike Nichols. And the haircut and the cold silver tone of the hair came from model Carmen De La Refis and from financier Christine Lagarde. But Streep didn't only work on the manner and the look. She used a method unusual for her: total immersion. She kept her interactions with castmates cool and clipped and spent most of her time alone. She understood the risk of turning Miranda into a caricature, so she insisted the film include a scene where the character is allowed to look genuinely vulnerable.
I don't really care what anybody writes about me. But my girls, it's just so unfair to the girls.
Just as important to her was showing Miranda as a professional. In almost every scene, she's deep in the work. We see that runway is her entire life, that her brutal demands usually aren't nitpicking, but a drive to make the magazine perfect. Through Streep's commitment, the unbending boss gains dimension. Where Miranda's story first provokes only fear, by the end that feeling has turned into understanding and respect for her devotion. It made for an extraordinary character and a contradictory legacy. It inspired countless viewers to join the fashion world, while quietly convincing them that hardness and ruthlessness are inseparable from success and professionalism.
And you have no style or sense of fashion?
Well, I think that depends on what you're...
No. That wasn't a question.
For her outstanding performance, Streep earned an Oscar nomination, a rare case of a comedic role catching the Academy's attention.
Look how she's smiling as though it doesn't bother her. Such a good actress.
Anne Hathaway didn't need total immersion. She was living a version of it in real life. At the time, the actress was dating a businessman who didn't support her career and got irritated when she worked late. Hathaway felt genuine anxiety when shoots ran long, and that's the state she so convincingly put on screen. To get into the right emotional register, she often used music. Before filming this scene, she was listening to Madame Butterfly, a tragic opera about shattered hopes.
I really did everything I could think of.
That's all.
The lightness and the comedy came from the supporting cast. Stanley Tucci was cast as Nigel just days before filming. With no time to prepare, he simply improvised brilliantly on set.
All right, everyone, gird your loins.
Did someone eat an onion bagel?
Emily Blunt, on the other hand, approached the role with total seriousness. For the London actress, this was a shot at making her name in Hollywood. She modeled her performance on Monty Python's John Cleese, combining stiff movements with sudden bursts, and speaking in a deliberately exaggerated British accent that made the character haughty but also funny.
Oh, I'm sorry, do you have some prior commitment? Some hideous skirt convention you have to go to?
Blunt even thought through the heavy makeup, as if Emily were hiding her insecurity behind it, using it to shield herself from the world. She created one of the most memorable supporting characters in modern film. Comic, anxious, caustic, eccentric, and somehow deeply charming. The studio found the character so winning that they insisted Emily appear in the finale and finally get what she'd been dreaming of.
The thing is, I have all these clothes from Paris, and I don't have any place to wear them, so I was wondering if you could take them off my hands.
The Devil Wears Prada balances between comedy and drama. It's not just a stylish film, it's a very funny one.
What do you think it is that makes Devil Wears Prada so timeless?
Fun. It's fun as
hell.
It's really fun.
The dialogue still lands sharp and still makes you smile.
They're showing a lot of florals right now, so I was thinking I could do a
Florals?
shoot.
For spring. Groundbreaking.
The runway shows still look spectacular, but fashion and glamour in this film are a pretext, a way to ask the audience questions that, 20 years on, have only gotten more relevant. How do you balance a career and a personal life? What are you willing to do chasing an ideal? Where's the line between working on yourself and losing your individuality? And how do you tell a partner's care apart from pressure dressed up as love?
You used to say this was just a job. You used to make fun of the runway girls. What happened? Now you've become one of them.
Andy manages to answer those questions for herself because, in the end, The Devil Wears Prada is a coming-of-age story in which the heroine makes an ethical choice and stays herself, refusing to climb over other people no matter how seductive the temptation. 20 years later, The Devil Wears Prada is still genuinely a cult film. So it's no surprise the sequel tries to repeat the original's formula. And while, on the level of plot, the filmmakers basically made a remake, they couldn't quite recreate the visual feeling of that cozy, lived-in world. Digital photography and color grading make the sequel hard to tell apart from the assembly line of streaming releases. For all its gorgeous costumes and starry cameos, The Devil Wears Prada 2 turns out to be an elegy for print media. Miranda Priestley, still wonderfully played by Streep, now provokes not fear and awe, but mostly the urge to give her a hug.
Sorry, who is this? Do you know her? Do I know her?
I'm Andy Sachs. Andrea.
She was one of the Emilys.
One of the what?
Because in the first film, anyone can recognize themselves as the subordinate or as the boss. Which of us hasn't, at least once, repeated that mantra to ourselves?
I love my job, I love my job, I love my job.
And not flinched at one more absurd request.
Sometimes I can't believe I talk about this crap all day.
Who hasn't honestly wondered why the most basic tasks never get done on time?
Is there some reason that my coffee isn't here? Has she died or something?
It doesn't matter where you work or as what. What matters is that after a hard day, you can always put on The Devil Wears Prada and finally relax, watching someone else be the one wrestling with the deadlines.